There's a quiet moment before you speak, when you have something true to say, and you're choosing whether to say it. And there's this question underneath. Will anyone care? Will it matter? Am I big enough to deserve to be heard? Here's what I've learned. You don't become heard by being loud. You become heard by being specific. We're taught that impact requires scale, that you need an audience, a platform, a message that applies to everyone. So we sand down our edges. We make our insights generic. We step back from the specific details that made us want to say something in the first place. We think, if I'm too small, too specific, too personal, nobody will listen. But the opposite is true. Specificity is not a limitation. It's a magnet. When you speak from a particular lived experience, a particular moment, a particular struggle, a particular observation, something shifts. People who've felt that thing, who've wondered if anyone else understood it, suddenly recognize themselves. They think, they know about this, they understand. And that's how connection happens. Not through universality, through recognition. The broader your message, the easier to dismiss. The more specific you are, the harder to ignore. Paradoxically, speaking only to one person speaks to thousands. But there's a real fear here. If you speak from something specific, something true to you, you're exposed. You're saying, this is what I actually think. This is what actually happened to me. This is what I actually believe. And when you do that, you're vulnerable to dismissal, to people saying, that's not universal, that's just your opinion, that's too niche. And yes, some people will feel that way. But here's what matters. The people you're trying to reach, the ones for whom this is true and important, they will hear you, and they will be grateful. Because you had the courage to speak specifically, to say the ungeneralized thing, to offer not wisdom for everyone, but wisdom for someone. And wisdom for someone is always worth more than platitudes for everyone. When you speak from specificity, you do something else too. You give other people permission to be specific. You show that there's a place for particular stories, for individual experience, for the things that don't fit into neat categories but are deeply, undeniably true. In a world of generic advice and broad platitudes, specificity becomes an act of resistance, of clarity, of respect for the people listening. And here's the truth beneath it all. The things that make you feel small, your particular perspective, your lived experience, your weird combination of interests and concerns, those are the things that make you necessary. Not to everyone, but to someone. And that someone is waiting to hear from you. They're waiting for you to be small enough to be heard, to be specific enough that they recognize themselves in what you say, to be brave enough to speak from your actual experience instead of your idea of what people want to hear. That's when you have real impact. Not through scale, through specificity. So if you have something true to say, something that matters to you, something you've learned, something you've experienced, don't try to make it big. Don't try to make it universal. Make it small. Make it specific. Make it yours. And trust that the people who need to hear it will find you. Because they will.